Hi guys, it's Marie here from Marie's Acrylic and Gel Nails in Central Queensland. This video is following on from the practice sheet to show you how I put the method into use on my practice hand when I'm practicing after I've done my balls. So on the practice sheet, my pearls. So this is a nail form. I am going to place my dot in the center of the form. Make sure it's nice and stuck. I'm going to roll it, give it a really good roll. Make sure I make a nice C-curve. I'm then going to take this line in the center and I'm going to line it up on my nail. So the form goes on under a natural nail about a 45-degree angle. Just pick it up. Oh, did I just move things? Nope. Okay, line the center up. Place my form. When I'm happy with my form placement, I'm going to start sticking my tabs together. They're a little bit more difficult on these fake hands, I find, because this particular one's from NSI I don't really like to stick, but now I've got it on. My line's not perfectly in the center, but I'm not worried. So for this one we're going to do the white first and then the 3 back. So I've got it. Now guys, my monomer I know is cloudy. You might not be able to see too well, but yes, it is very cloudy. This is the monomer that I use from clients and stuff like that, I just save it instead of throwing it out, because then I can use it on my practice nails when I'm just practicing or when I'm doing those dots, rather than just wasting perfectly good monomer. So I would never use it on someone. So I've got my radiant white. So my first large pearl of radiant white is going to go here on the free edge of my nail. Just going to wipe my brush and let that flow. And then while it's flowing, I'm going to start to shape my sides. Now I really do prefer to do sculptured nails. My form has moved underneath. I do really prefer to do sculptured nails. There's a lot less filing, because as you can see I'm doing my shape so I have way less filing really at the end of the day. So when you're happy ish and you've decided I'm going to put get another small bead, maybe 2, just to fix up a couple of little things. And I think that is really good for you guys, because you get to see that too, that sometimes one ball's not enough. And in this case it wasn't. I would have had a big issue up this side wall here. It would have been wrong, the whole nail would have been wrong. So I'm just gonna fix that. It's still so cold here. I had to already glue my tip on. Took me a good 10 minutes for my tip one tip to set today. And normally with my glue it's pretty good, but so okay, I've got that side fixed. I'm just going to get another little bit and I'm just going to fix this line here, and I'm also going just to fix just there. Been a long time since I've worked doing, I normally do, whether it be a coloured French or the white, I usually always use the reverse method. So I'm happier with that. I'm just going to fix this little corner here. Lightly stroke that out. So that is ball one. Okay, with a couple extra balls. So I'm just going to move that. But I'm happy with my shape. I'm happy where it's all sitting. So now I'm going to get my cover pink, because that's what I'm using. I'm going to get ball number 2. I'm going to butt it up right here close. I really don't want that flowing too much in onto my white because it is a cover pink. I'm going to start stroking it out, taking it to the back. Making sure I'm happy with my smile line. Okay, so that is ball 2. Then I'm going to get my third ball and I'm going to put it at my cuticle. Let my acrylic flow. Going to make sure that I'm not flooding said cuticle area. And then go from side, center, and side. Some people do both sides and then the center. There is no particular right or wrong way when you're stroking the acrylic out. It's what works for you. So now I've got that. That's ball 3. So I'm going to take, it's called Radiant Pink. Well, it's not totally clear, but it'll give the nail a nice shine. I'm going to place it in between 3 and 2, and I'm going to stroke that out. Now, my acrylic is even taking longer than normal to set up, which is annoying because this is actually my second go at this video. So when you're happy, just I'm going to let that dry. So let's go on to this one, which is the reverse method. I'm trying to make it as quick as I possibly can. So we're going to get our first ball and we're going to put it in zone 2. I'm going to start brushing it back towards zone 3. I'm going to start making sure that I'm happy with my smile line. That's not too bad. Okay, so then I'm going to go in for my second ball, which will actually be going in zone 3, which is the cuticle ball. Going to let it flow, and then I'm going to start stroking it out down the nail. As you can see, my smile line's moving, or moved a bit. That's how wet it is. My first ball is still super wet. And normally I don't. The drying time with NSI is pretty good, even though this isn't their speed powders. Well, this isn't even an NSI product. This pink isn't NSI. This cover bed that I'm actually using is from Organic Nails, and it is from the Bride collection, and it's called Rose, and it's really pretty, and hence why I used it. I'm just going to test this nail. It should be sweet to give it a little pinch. I bought a cheap one of these pinching tools on eBay, and I find it's too tight and my clients don't like it, so it's ticky-tacky. So I'm using my one from Young Nails. So it's dry in place and not others. Okay, so moving back to this one, just gonna let that dry a little bit because I want to give it a quick file. I'll put my lid on my powder. I'm going to take this nail form off. I'm trying a new camera angle, so you'll all have to let me know how it goes, because when I filmed this the first time, would you believe I was just so out of the camera, it wasn't funny. So anyway, so I'm just going to take that one off. In the meantime, that's how wet this is. I must have touched it, dropped something on it. Oh, I tell you, normally this organic, even the organic nails, isn't this much of an issue. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bead of that to fix up my little divot. Don't really want to do that, but okay. So let that dry. It's just one of those days, I swear. Okay, so I've got this now. Sounds hard enough. Doesn't feel hard enough at places. So I'm going to come down here at the white. And this is going to probably sound this file so loud. So I'm really sorry for that. I suppose I could come in and mute it. So all I'm going to do is give this a really quick file using my hand file. And this is what I do is I use old files for my practice. So this is a 100-watt file. That was one of my customers. That's really too blunt to be using on her. And I have a little sharpening block that I sharpen it on, but for doing practice stuff, I actually find it really good. So as you can see, I've got my shape. Happy with. Give it a dust in a second. I'm just going to bevel down these ends and make sure my ends aren't too thick. Now if this was a client, I would be, once I'm finished, I would be turning her hand backwards and I would be looking down the nail to see what she sees. And I do think if you're going to use product and you're going to practice, that's what you should do, because it gets you into a rhythm. Sorry, to me it seems crooked. It's the way I'm holding it, and it is. Okay, better. So I'm just going to turn my client's hand over. I'm going to look down the barrel of her said nail, and that way, just drop that finger, I can quickly see any areas that need attention. My client's not being helpful today. Okay, so now I can see where it's uneven here. So I'm looking in her direction, and I can really straighten that up. Okay, so I'm happy with that. See how wet that still is? It's just picked up all the dust from the table. So I'm just going to get my buffer block. I'm going to give this a good buff out. Normally too, that's another hint I'll tell you, I work back down my file, so that's 108, 100, so then I'd go to my 150, Then I go down to my 240, then to my buffer block. So which I'm going to get my 240 now and just get rid of that little fine line there. Okay, really don't want to put too much more into this. It's only a practice nail, and like I said, it's just trying to make it as quick as possible. Wrong time to be filming any videos on my weathers like this, but anyway. So that's my sculpture nail complete. I'm just going to give it a quick buff, making sure I'm in frame. Oh, my shoulder. Just doing it funny. Okay, that must be better. That's why I shouldn't have used the pink powder. It's just forming a little bit funny. Just there on that white. And I can see it. So what I do, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, I could touch that up with some more powder, or I could touch it up with some gel polish. At the moment I seem to have got it all gone, so that's good. So that's done, ready to top coat. This mess, I'm just going to file around it quickly and make sure that I've got a nice sharp C-curve. I'm just going to give it a quick file and get rid of that dust. Oh, I know why my shoulder hurts. I've recently listed my house on the market for sale. Some of you know that, some of you don't. And like I listed it, what's today? Wednesday. So I listed it, went on the market. The agent come round Monday afternoon that I picked. Yesterday he was here taking photos, and it sounds like with not even 12 hours of it being on the market, he looks like he has a buyer for it, which was a little bit quicker than I was hoping. But anyway, so what I've done to my shoulder, getting back to the story, I was out in the yard last night just trying to green up my yard, and Lexi has a hole near my tap, and everyone said to me, do you want to fill it in, do you want to fill it in, because the last couple of days we've been doing work. I'll be right back. speaking of the devil, that was my real estate agent. The people are coming to see it tomorrow. Yeah, so she's got this hole, and I said, no, don't worry about it. And I was out there putting my sprinkler on last night to green the place up, and guess who fell in the hole? So I've got to cut my big toe, and that's why my shoulder's hurting. So getting back to nails, this will be my third ball, and I'm just putting it here. So yeah, the people that are interested in my property are coming to view it tomorrow at 5:30. So yeah, all I'm doing is just manipulating, making sure I've got the powder where I want it, the acrylic where I want it. I need to wipe that brush off. And when I'm happy, just check my smile line, which is pretty spot on. Okay. So I'm actually really happy with that. It went better than expected. So now, other than the phone call from my real estate agent. So now I am going to put on my Radiant Pink, which is my last ball, which goes between zones 2 and 3 imaginatively. Let it flow. I like to point my nails down, side out, wipe the other side out, and the center. Bring it back. Grab a little bit more for there. Okay, so when you're happy, which I am, just pop it down nicely so it dries. Now, even with it being a tip, you can pinch that nail as it dries. So I'll just let it dry. Make sure I always put my lids back on top of my powders. So I'm just going to screw them on. Make sure they're all on. So these are the two nails here that I did. That was the sculptured nail. That's the tip that I've already done. And these are the two that I've just done for you guys. So this is what's left of my monomer. And yeah, it is pretty cloudy and yucky and is what it is. So I am just going to pour it back. I see I've got this little bottle, and that's what it's for. It is for my old monomer. So just while I'm waiting for that nail to set up, I'll just do some cleanup. So the tips I use today, when you get, most of you know, when you get the nail tainer hands, I use their tips because, like I said, my glue, whether it was their glue, my glue, and I normally use this, it just was not setting. So that's the organic nail product I've used. That's the NSI Radiant Pink. I love NSI. That's the Radiant White. Yes, I do have the monomer that goes with this, and I still promote that. You know, I don't like when people mix monomers, because that's when you get a lot of your lifting. So let's see where we are. No, still very wet. So well, it's so wet, and we're sitting here in La La Land waiting for it to go off. I'm going to glaze and go this nail. Didn't it turn out so pretty? You can't even see the ridge from where I had that little issue. So what I'm going to do is just chuck that in the UV light, because I am hoping that will help my acrylic speed its time up drying. My hand's not playing the game today. Everything, I think I need to get in with the tool and tighten everything up on her. Can you hear that noise? That is the fan belt on my UV light slipping, and that crinkly noise is my tripod. I can actually have it that it's on one center pole. So it is on its one center pole. It's between my legs in front of me, so you guys are seeing exactly everything I see, you see. So you're right in front. I've tried videotaping to the side and all of that, and there's always something in the way. So I went, okay, well, I have the technology to put you guys right in the center, that you're not getting my head, rah rah rah, you might get the occasional hand. So I have lined yous up that you're center, so I can't wait to finish recording this, go put it up on my computer, start editing it, and see just how we went. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I love the glaze and glow. It is so pretty. And that one is set. So that's another thing that some of you might not know, that if you've got a slow setting acrylic and you're having, you know, the weather that we're having and it's freezing cold, just stick it in your UV light. It will help set up. I don't use, well, I do have the NSI Speed acrylics, but even with the weather that we're having at the moment, it would just take as long. So what I have found, if I chuck them even in my LED light or my UV light, we just set up. And this was really still tacky before I put it in, so that's how quickly it set it up. I think it's a good little handy tip for everybody to know that yes, your acrylic will set a lot faster in the UV light. I had my UV light, and mind you, my UV light is a 36 watt lamp. It was 90 seconds for the glaze and go. So in that 90 seconds, it's set up. Now I've had a try at coffin shape, ballerina slipper shape today on this nail. Sorry, I was out of focus. Too busy in my world. Just because I've seen this shape, and I really like it. Although it's a little bit harder to get the shape so spot on a tip, but that's okay. I'm not terribly worried. Okay, so I'm happy with my shape. Done filing. Again, remember, you should be turning this hand over. You should be having a looking at the client's view down the nail and any little imperfections you should be dealing with. I hate flat nails. I see so many nail technicians create flat nails, and rather than having nice curves to them, and I think it's horrible, and I don't understand why people do flat nails. So I hope that using that practice sheet, learning about more control over product and more consistency, I should say, with your monomer and that. Hopefully, look how pretty that is just set up. They're not thick. And that's it. And when they come out, when this one comes out, I'll put it in the UV light. We will test the strength on these nails. So, I'll just move my file. I'm going to move my... That didn't work. Just put the dust all over my desk. Yeah, we'll test the strength on all the nails. So I'm just putting my files, I'm just clearing my desk off as we're chatting. So yeah, okay, what happened? It must have beeped and I didn't hear it. So there it is all set up. So the tips on these, I've got crap underneath this nail. They're not thick at all. So that's a sculptured. So squeezing, there's no, the sculpture's not going to break. So you have no excuse, ladies, for thick nails. Do the practice sheets. Practice, practice. We all need to practice, and we should be practicing regularly. And if we practice, we will be getting these, be able to give our customers the best quality nails we can. Until next video, I'll talk to you all later.